Guys, this is Lisa with your weekly Lyrical Aspirations Inspirational Message. Today we're going to talk about the pursuit of peace. And I know we hear all the time the phrase the pursuit of happiness. And I think we should all be on that journey. That is definitely something that we should all be striving for. But here's what I want to make sure that we understand is that we can't truly find that highest level of inner happiness until we locate and maintain a level of inner peace. Now, I understand that we live in a chaotic world. Our lives can be chaotic at times. So I'm not even speaking about that. I am talking about that level of peace within yourself where you understand. You understand that what you have gone through and what you are going through is just a cycle in order to get you to where you need to go. And that's finding a level of peace. A level of peace does not sit in bitterness, it does not sit in regrets, it does not sit in a place of unhappiness. It is always pursuing peace within. And I want us all to find this level of peace because I truly believe that if we do locate and maintain a level of inner peace, we are going to be able to truly look at our lives and we are going to be able to identify the things and the people that do not add peace but take peace away from our lives. And it's important for us to be able to do that so that we can really discern who or what is for our highest good and what isn't. And for those things or people that aren't, we have to have enough within us to walk away. See, when you find a place of inner peace, it does not exist within toxicness. It doesn't exist within codependency and things of that nature. I want you to feel true freedom, and true freedom is actually from a place of peace within. A place of peace within can give you freedom in any situation that you are in. So, I came up with 7 things that we can do on a regular basis. We will call them the 7 building blocks to maintaining inner peace. And I promise you, even if you don't do every single one of these 7 things, if you just apply 1 or 2 of them over this next year, I promise you at the end of the year, you will feel more peaceful. You will be at a level of more peace. And guess what? The environment around you will feel more peaceful. Because when you step out into the world as a creature of peace, chaos, honey, doesn't want anything to do with you. It's like that commercial for that cold medicine or whatever, or maybe like that Raid commercial that's like Raid and all the roaches run or whatever. It's the same thing as when you come out and you have a level of inner peace, honey. Those toxic things and those toxic people know they can't play with you. They know that I don't even need to step upon this because I will not win with this person. This person is at a level of peace, and I want you to find it. Because once you find it, it's going to feel so good. You will do everything that you can to maintain it. So let's go ahead and go through these 7 things that you can start to do to really find that inner peace. So the first thing that you have to start doing, guys, this is so important to finding peace. And that is really focusing on the things that you can control. Honey, we spend so much time trying to be worried about things that are completely out of our control. Listen, the one thing I'm going to tell you right now about this is don't try to change people. This is something that I think we do far too much, where we come into a situation and we try to change somebody or mold somebody into who we think they are. This is not something you can control, guys. That's like telling somebody that's highly obese that they need to lose weight. Truth is that you can push all the diet food in front of them that you want, but until they understand and want to change, that's the only time that it's going to change. You cannot change other people. You can only change you. And so when you look at your circle and you look at the world around you, you have to be able to focus on the things that you can change and not on the things or the people that you can't do anything about, guys. We've got to start shifting that energy and shifting that focus. In addition to that, we have to stop over stressing about the things that might happen. Man, let me tell you something. There's a whole lot of things that might happen in our lives. And so we can be prepared. Of course, being prepared is definitely a big component to a level of peace within, but being prepared is not living within that place of worry. And so when I say, over stressing about things that may happen, we can think about it. We can say, okay, if I do this, then this may happen. Or just the way that the state of the world is going, this may happen. And we can think about, if this happens, what do I need to do? And you can have a couple of options, A, B, C, D solutions in place, ready to roll if this particular thing happens. Then you have to let it go, guys. You can't keep sitting there like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. It's sort of like you get a cold and all of a sudden you're mourning your death because now you think like, I'm on my deathbed, I have a cold. It's the same exact thing. It's just taking things to the extreme. Over stressing about what might happen is not putting your attention and your energy into what is happening. So it's definitely good to prepare, but don't live there. Now, the second thing that we must do, and this one might be a little bit more challenging to some. I know for me it is, because we let our emotions drive us sometimes, but we have to start making amends quickly with people. And when I say that, I want to be very clear that making amends quickly is not just with people outside of you. Sometimes you have to make amends with yourself too. Sometimes you get angry at yourself for doing something or making a bad choice or whatever the case is. So sometimes you have to make amends with yourself, but you must do it quickly. When you don't make amends quickly, then things just sit there. So let's just say, for an example, that you have an argument with somebody. Things go sour and neither one of you wants to make amends. Okay, there may be reasons for that, why you don't want to make amends with that person directly, but guys, you can still make amends within yourself. You can still look at the situation and say, okay, this is what happened. I understand why I got heated. I understand why this individual spoke to me this way, whatever the case is, and you must make amends with it. You must find that place of forgiveness within. Make amends quickly. Now, the third thing that we can start doing is we really need to start thinking long term with our actions and our words. Sometimes we let our emotions put us in a place right now where we're not really thinking about maybe our words or our actions, and we just kind of spew things out, or we just kind of do things in that spur of the moment. But really, I want us to take a breath. And when we feel ourselves getting anxious and upset and things of that nature, just take a moment to take a breath and really think about your words, think about your actions. And if you cannot think clearly at the moment because you are so upset or whatever, or so emotional, then what I would say is take a moment, take a step back, and don't address it at that time. We have to start learning how to pick and choose our battles and pick and choose our places of debate and conversation. We have to be strategic in this life. And we have to understand that, one, not just like not every battle is worth fighting, the same thing is true as not everything is worth saying. So make sure that, or doing. So make sure that you really do think about how they're going to have an impact out in the world, because the impact out in the world could have a ripple effect and impact you too. Now, the fourth thing that we have to start doing, and this one is kind of something that we learn as we come along, because we're learning every single day what this looks like for us. And that is, we must be assertive and set boundaries. So when you set a boundary, you must be assertive to keep and maintain that boundary, right? And when I say assertive, I don't mean rude. I don't mean aggressive. I don't mean bullying people or anything of that nature. But you can be assertive in a way that people know, I can't cross that line with this person. And if I try to cross that line, they're going to cut me out of their lives. And so just be assertive. And being assertive means that you do walk around with scissors in your back pocket to cut anybody that's pulling you backwards. Being assertive says, hey, if you cross this boundary one too many times, then I know you don't care for me. So I am going to cut the ties. That's what boundaries is. And that's what being assertive with them means. And when the reason why I say be assertive with it is because once you feel what true inner peace feels like, you're not going to want to lose it for anything. And I talk a lot in my videos about letting go of the people and things in your life that don't serve your higher good. Well, until you find a place of inner peace, you may not be able to truly look at the things and the people in your lives and make true, accurate decisions on them, because you may not be coming from a place of peace. And what do I mean by that is, say that you have someone in your life that is pushing you to be a better person. If you're not peaceful within yourself, if you've not found that place of peace, you may find that person to be annoying. You may find that person to be nagging you or causing a disruption in your energy and in your life. Because you're not looking at it from a place of peace, you don't see that this person is coming from a place of absolute love. You don't see that they're coming from a place of saying, hey, I see you as higher than what you are, but you don't see it yet. And so we have to make sure that we find this place of peace in order to really look at our lives and make the deletions and the additions that we need to. Now, the fifth thing that we've got to do on this pursuit of peace is we must let go of perfectionism. Oh my goodness, this one right here is definitely for me, but I know a lot of people in my life that struggle with it and is just trying to be perfect at everything. Guys, you will never, ever be able to find a sense of peace if you are looking for perfection. We are humans, we are not perfect creatures. I can promise you right now, we are here to make mistakes, we are here to learn. And so I want us to understand that we cannot be perfect. Should we give our all to something? Absolutely. But when you start going in and let's just say, I don't know, doing your hair, you got to make sure every single piece is exactly in its exact place. You're putting a lot of stress and a lot of energy in a place that you could have been putting into something that was a little more productive than that. And I know that was a small version of perfectionism because sometimes we can try to have perfectionism in our relationships, in our jobs. These are places that you're never going to find perfection. So please make sure that you accept right now that it is okay to not be perfect. Now, the sixth thing that we must do to start finding inner peace, this one might speak for itself. And I do mention this quite a lot in my videos, and that is you must learn to meditate. I don't mean you have to get into a place where you clear your mind and people are talking to you and you don't even hear them. Most people aren't going to get to that level of meditation. I'm just saying sitting with yourself, really digesting your thoughts, digesting how you're feeling. What are the smells around you? Just close your eyes and tune in. Turn off the TV, turn off the music, listen to the sounds outside. What was that sound? Was that a cricket? Was that a bird? Whatever it is, focus in, meditate, bring yourself to a center of peaceful chi. Now, the last thing that I'm going to tell you, I left it as the seventh thing that we need to do because I truly believe that this is the most important part of finding inner peace. And that is you must move past your past. Now, your past could have been 30 years ago, it could have been yesterday, it could have been 5 minutes ago, but we must start moving past our past. What I mean by that, all right, we can look at our lives and we can understand the things that we've been through. I call that bean counting, right? Where you say, this has happened to me. This is what I've done. I've experienced this, right? It's kind of just keeping a tally of all the things that you've gone through, all the experiences, all the pains, whatever the case. We could keep that all day and all night. But I want you to start looking at your life a little bit differently so you can move past the past. And the way in order to do that is you must start looking at things not as a bean counter and say, yep, that happened to me. Yep, that happened to me. Yep, that happened to me. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to start looking at every single thing that has happened to you. And I want you to find something that made you better because of it. Now, here's an example of what I mean by that. Say that you had parents that were abusive to you in your life and then you become a parent, or maybe you become a social worker. This is something that came out of a very negative situation and turned into something positive. That's what I want you to start focusing on. Instead of just counting the things that have happened, think about the times that you've been able to be there for somebody just because you went through something. You know, I just recently lost somebody close to me. The individuals in my life that have lost people close to them have been able to be there for me. This is saying that, hey, I know what I went through in the past hurt, but it made me better to be able to support this person or to be able to push past this or whatever it is. I want you to start looking at your past for the purpose. So when you look at your past for the purpose, now you're going to move past the past. Now you're going to be able to let that go because you cannot find a place of peace if you are living in a home of the past. Now, before I let you guys go, I'm going to share with you a quote from Wayne Dyer, and that is, peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is rather than how you think it should be. Now, think about that. process things for how they are, not for how you think they should be. When you can start to look at life for how it really is, trust and believe, you will start to see the reasoning behind all of the things that you have gone through. And that, my friend, is when you find your level of peace within. That is when you can best believe that you have found that road to peace and you are on pursuit of it. So, with that said, guys, I want you to go out here, make this an amazing week. Make sure that your new year starts with amazing energy, high vibrations, and make sure that you come back and check me out next week.